Hi folks, Baz the Garage Strongman here. Something a little different today. I'm going to be trying to build, let's be more positive, I'm going to be building an Atlas stone platform. I'll show you the design next. I've just scribbled it down so it's not a great drawing. I'm looking at 4 single platforms of varying heights, and I'm going to put them in a square basically, so it's going to give a lot of strength so I can have it freestanding without fixing it to the garage or anything, because being a prefab garage I haven't really got anything to fix it to, so I want it freestanding in the middle of the drive and something I can drag out to use. Have a look at the picture now, my rough sketch. So I had this wood lying about. As you can see, it's all fence posts. It's treated so it'll be able to live outside. I've got 6 posts there, so only really enough to build the one tower today. So I'm going to build as tall a one as I can. After a quick measure, it looks like that's going to be about 51 inches is the most I can get off these posts. And then I'm going to put a top on as well, so it could be 52, maybe 54 inches, depending on the top I use. If I had enough wood, I would do the 4 towers of varying heights and screw them all together in a square formation to lend strength to each other. As it is today, I'm just going to make the one tower, and I'm probably going to have to add some sort of diagonals or something to stop it from falling over when I put the stone on, but we'll see. Right, I've just been doing a bit more planning, bit of a cutting list there. Measured all these, and it looks like, because I'm going to use that for the top before the plywood, and I'm also going to make a base out of that. Counting the offshoots and the bits and bobs, I can just about get 12 cross pieces out of it to brace it all together. A couple of those are a little bit dodgy looking, because they've been out in the rain or weather's a bit more, but hopefully I can make a 59-inch platform, which is my 1.5 meter platform, which is going to be my second tallest. So it's going to be ideal for the 75 kilo stone at the moment. And I've had to make them a little bit bigger than I thought because of making the whole thing square, so that the top of the smallest one can fit my 130 kilo stone and a bit more, which is 18 inches I think in diameter. I just measured it, 18 or 18.5. So the actual top is going to be 25 inches, so it'll be plenty big enough to take even a bigger stone. Otherwise it was going to have to be, quick maths now, more like 17 inches, which obviously wasn't going to cut it for that bigger stone or anything 17 inches or bigger really. It was going to be a bit tight. So there we go, let's proceed. Right, first step, we've made sure the tops are square with a set square, and we've measured the length, which was determined by the shortest one we could get, this one here being 53 inches. We've measured them all to 53 inches. Okay, with the top and the bottom made out of that, which is 3 inches each, that's going to take us to our desired 59. With a little bit of ply on the top, it's just going to be just above that, but I'm not going to bother worrying about that. Only like a 1/2 inch top piece. So let's make our first cut. Right, I'll bring the first piece over, please. Drag it over. Yep, anyone, drag them over. Again, to make our first cut. Just wait, Oz, I go to the first one, okay? be good. First cut down. Run down. Line it up. I'm going to line it up first, okay? Check the saw is coming down where we want it. Edge it over a little bit. Okay, come around the other side. Right, you've got to pull this in and push down and back. Stand round by me. Don't get anything else close to that saw, okay? Ready? Marvellous, that's two. So I got my four lengths cut to 53 inches each. I know I'm a bit young to be working in inches, but wood is still largely measured in inches. So, as are the heights of our Atlas platforms generally. So, bit of quick maths now. I'm going to do a base, 3 pieces of that wide, which is 25.5 inches. It's 8.5 inches each, 25.5 inches. So the little cross pieces between the two legs, two of those together, they're a bit less than 3 inches. They're 5.75. Take that away from your 25.5. Bit of quick maths. Gives me, in between pieces, of 19.75. So I need to make 12 of those. I was going to do 4 down the bottom, 4 at the top, which might be overkill, and definitely 4 in the middle though to keep the frame solid. So I need 12, and as I said earlier, I can just about get 12 out of those. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Had a panic then. So that's next. I'll be cutting those little side pieces and I'll be putting the frame together. Double check that. 19.75 inches. Measured them up. Nice and square with a set square. Taking no chances. As you can see, this is the worst piece. This was a bit older and sheared off when I hit it with the ride-on lawnmower actually. So it's not the greatest piece of wood, this one, but the others are a bit more sound. I'm going to do this one first. Saw malfunction. There's that nut going down. Sorted that, there was a lock guard. Anyway, let's get on with it. I don't know why that was on then. Stay just below that line. God. Should have some eye protection on really. There's my first piece anyway. 19.75 inches. Just need 11 more of those now. So as I've got my one now, I'll measure all the other ones off this. So therefore, they all end up the same size, and my structure ends up square. And you get the end squared up. Using a cut to put that up square. And then I've got the set square. Straight off there. And remember to leave the line on when I cut. Measure all those up now and then cut them all. Well, that was a bit hotter than I thought. I've had to break out a pair of shorts. As you can see, I've got my 12 little cross sections cut. Now, before I do the base and the top, I'm going to fit this together, I think, just to get the frame up, which is a bit more fun than all this chopping, but also to then measure the exact size so I get the top nice and flush. I don't want it too big or too small, really. I know it's not going to be an item of furniture in the house, but I still want it to be, you know, square more than anything else. Right folks, as you can see, I've decamped onto a more flatter, squarer surface now for putting this frame together. Now, I'm not setting myself up as a DIY expert, far from it. As you'll probably see when this thing falls to pieces, usually what can go wrong will go wrong for me, so I'm just giving myself the best chance anyway, trying to do things, apply a bit of logic. For example, the last cutting phase where I've cut these 12 things, I marked them all off the original first piece as opposed to marking them off subsequent pieces, because you get that little margin for error carried over. So they're all marked off the first one, so they're all pretty much the same length as are those ones. I'm going to make my square, but rectangular if you like, structure now on this flat surface. Just going to screw it all together with nice long screws, and then I'm going to make the base and the top for it. So I'll get going and then I'll give you an update. So I got the first wall laid out and I've positioned the wood, so obviously the scruffier looking pieces will be on the inside of the frame, any screw heads or anything else left. I've noticed these slightly bigger ones, obviously can't put another oversized piece adjacent to that. I was going to use the bigger ones on the base, but I've got 3 of them, so I can use one opposite. But obviously coming off there now, I need a standard size piece. That'll be fine. So I'm going to get this one side screwed together and I'll be back. Just had to stop for a quick snack, folks. I don't want to be losing gains while I'm doing all this physical work. These are very tasty. Available from My Protein. Very nice flapjack. 20 grams of protein. These have got a few carbs in them, which explains for them being a bit more tasty. Perfect if you're bulking. Snacks on the go. Check out my protein discount code in my profile, and they're currently offering with that free next day delivery for 3 months if you use my code. Very nice. Back to work. So I've screwed my first frame together, just using these pretty long screws. If I had more, I would have put 2 in each. I've just currently put 1 through the centre in each joint, and then what I'll do once I've got it up is put a few smaller screws at a bit of a diagonal to fix it all together. But it's pretty solid so far. I'll be back at the next phase. So there's my 2 sides, or front and back. Now I just need a lovely assistant to help me fitting the 2 together, and it's looking pretty big, pretty tall. I'm not sure I'm going to put the base plate on there because that's 3 inches extra height I could do without, and I might just try the chipboard, is it plywood? Plywood, I think it's called. The top with the circle cut out first off. Although I do think I'm going to need the thicker lid at least. But each one's going to be 3 inches now, and looking at it, that's pretty high. So I can always add to it. I can always make it that little bit taller and a little bit more rigid. But we'll see how we go. See how solid the frame is now when I get it screwed together. And see whether it needs a base or a lid. With those 2 big bottom clunky bits, might not need it. We'll see. Well, there's the basic frame, folks. That is 53 inches high. So I just got to decide now. I don't think I'm going to need a base, because I don't think that wood is treated anyway. I'm probably going to need a lid out of, if you can see that stuff, show you, that's 3 inch thick by 8.5 inch. 3 of those, bump, 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 will make a perfect lid, because that's why I set it up. I could do a base because I was going to bring it up another 3 inches, but that was purely just to end up at 59 inches, just because it's one from the highest in the comp I was supposed to be doing, which got cancelled. So I don't think I'm going to bother, because I think that is going to be challenge enough right now, with 3 inches on top of that and a bit of ply with a circle cut out. I think that's going to be challenge enough. I can always add that extra 3 inches if I need to, but I've got to leave it there for today because it is Star Wars Day and the boys been looking forward to it. So that's my work so far. I'll finish it off tomorrow. Okay, this is what I envisage the final platform looking like. If the yellow one is the tower I've done now, the next one descend in order, and so on, giving you a square base and hopefully a lot of strength between it so it's not going to fall over, which is my concern for the single tower at the moment. If I dump a big stone on top, what's going to stop it toppling over? So until I do these other towers, I think I'm going to need some diagonal supports to, as I say, to stop the thing falling over. But we'll see. Okay folks, that's the end of part 1 of my Atlas Stone platform tutorial. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please drop us a thumbs up if you have, and please come back tomorrow for part 2 and we'll finish it off. Please subscribe for future Strongman content. I'm Baz, a Garage Strongman. See you soon.